So the Nintendo Switch 2, as we get closer to April, we will start seeing a lot more and hearing a lot more about potential features for the console itself. One of the most intriguing things in my mind is going to be the Joy-Cons and what additional features are they going to be adding to this thing. We now have potentially a first look here as to one of the more interesting features that will be added, and this is connecting the Joy-Cons onto the Nintendo Switch 2 in basically any direction that you do want. We have this report here from WCCF Tech, and it's talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's talking about the user interface that we may potentially see, as apparently somebody actually has the full Nintendo Switch 2 in their hands, a real system that people will be getting once this thing does actually launch. This has been reported by the FamiBoards user Kaisen of Zhaohong Shoe Forms, who is last year obtained a CAD model and is now claiming to have a real unit in their hands. And they revealed that the supposed unit can be powered on, which means that there are some decent chances here that we will see the UI, some unique features of it that we don't know about yet. The question I have when it comes to the user interface is, will this be the same as the current Nintendo Switch with maybe just some small slight upgrades, or will it be something completely different and improve upon and iterate upon what they currently have with the Nintendo Switch? I have a feeling it will be very similar, just because if it's going to be fully backwards compatible, they're not going to want to throw too many people off and confuse people with the Nintendo Switch 2, something we obviously did see here when it came to the Wii U. Although that was just, the naming convention was way too close and people thought it was just kind of an accessory or something to the Nintendo Wii. They'll probably want to keep it relatively the same so that people know that is fully backwards compatible and that all their games can play on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, the Joy-Con functionality, this is going to be the most interesting thing. Will they be similar? Will they be the exact same, just bigger from what we did see from the first video that was shown off here with the Nintendo Switch? Or will there be some additional features? One thing we do know from the preview trailer was that there's going to be mouse functionality. I mean, they wouldn't have shown the Joy-Con sliding around if there wasn't going to be mouse functionality. And you have to ask, how is this going to be used? Is it just going to be used for certain games that Nintendo puts out, or is it going to be able to be used in any game, like a first-person shooter, to give you more precision when you're playing these games on the Switch 2? If that is the case, I think that is a big win here for more features with the Joy-Con. Now, the other thing that did show up is the possibility of reversible Joy-Cons. There is that thing that is going around, looks like a patent here for the Switch 2, and there's a description as to exactly what this patent means, and it's long. It's just kind of a bunch of technical jargon, but basically what they are saying here is the Joy-Cons are going to be able to be put onto the Nintendo Switch 2 in any direction, and that would make sense. I mean, if you take a look at the Joy-Cons that they did show off during the preview events, during the preview video, it's pretty obvious. I mean, these things have magnetic or a completely different attachment system comparatively to the current Nintendo Switch, with just the attachment in the middle that's going to connect. If you see that little connector there, that is going to be giving these Joy-Cons the ability to connect either direction on the Nintendo Switch 2. It's not going to be locked to the rails that is currently on the Switch. So I can absolutely seeing this functionality be a thing where, depending on the orientation of your screen, how you want to play the game, on the inputs that you want to be able to press for that game, you're going to be able to turn the screen will flip, and then you're going to be able to just connect your Joy-Cons in any direction. So very cool stuff there. There's an additional button here as well on the Nintendo Switch 2 that we just don't know what that's for. Could that be something related to the orientation of the game itself? This is all stuff that we are going to figure out when it comes to April. I'm assuming here when they talk more in detail about the Nintendo Switch 2. They do say here, though, that speaking about the Nintendo Switch 2 controllers, it seems like their functionality could have been expanded beyond the inclusion of the new mysterious button. As reported on the console subreddit, one of the official patent teams to suggest that the new Joy-Con controllers could be attached to the system in more ways than two, and this could lead to some interesting applications. The patent also suggests that the screen rotates depending on how the Joy-Con controllers are attached. One of the other questions would be, could you attach the Joy-Cons to the Nintendo Switch 2 in a vertical format, not just a landscape format, which is the only way that we know how to do it? From, I guess, the video as well that we did see, it doesn't look like there is any way to attach them vertically if you want to play games that are scrolling up and down, like for example a shoot 'em up. That would be an incredible way to play those games if you could attach the Joy-Cons vertically and then be able to play that. But I would assume if the screen can flip, you would just take the Joy-Cons off, turn it in vertical, and then be able to play the game vertically anyways. We'll see what happens. But I mean, this is just more stuff here. The most interesting, intriguing thing to me when it comes to the Switch 2, well, there's two things. The first of all, the screen. Are they going with LCD or are they going to go with OLED at launch? And the second thing is going to be the Joy-Con improvements and additional features that they will be adding in here. Because everything else similarly looks the same. There really isn't a huge difference here between the Switch and the Switch 2 other than what's under the hood and then potentially the Joy-Cons. If the Joy-Cons have additional features that aren't there. I can't wait for April. We do know when the April event is happening on April 2nd. So that's when the Direct is going to be, where I'm guessing they're going to show us all of the new features and then give us a release date, a price, and some launch games that are coming with it. But let me know your thoughts on this. What's your ideas of how these Joy-Cons could be used to add more functionality to the Nintendo Switch 2? If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here, hit the subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.